me as well. So are we still on? Are we off? Have we disappeared? Have we vanished from view? I have no idea. Oh, I think we're back now. Oh, hello again. I don't know what's going on. Something very strange is happening on my computer and also on my internet connection. So I do apologise for that. This is going really well. I might have to start this all over again. So we are back. Are we back? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on now. Do we have a connection? Are we connected to the internet? I really don't know. Hello to Cedo. Hello, Cedo. Nice to see you again, Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you here as well. I hope you can see me. I hope you can follow me. This is a disaster. This might be the worst live stream I've ever done because everything keeps going wrong. I keep losing a connection. Are we back? Hello? Shall I just go and come back? Okay, wait there a moment. I will go away and then I'll come back. I don't really know what's going on here. Something very strange is happening. It would appear that I have no internet connection, and I don't know why. So what are we going to do now? Shall I just stand here and talk to myself? Hello? Is there anyone there? I don't even know if I'm broadcasting. This is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. I don't even understand what is going on. Let me just see if I can sort this out. This is just a disaster. The first day of 2020 and my live stream keeps breaking. Thank you, YouTube. I don't know what it is you're doing, but can you please stop doing it? Are we back? Are we on again? This might be the strangest live stream I've ever done because for some reason I keep losing the internet connection. It keeps disappearing. Oh, Anna Rita says now it seems okay. I think YouTube is trying to sabotage my live stream. I think they are doing this on purpose just to ruin my fun. Thank you, TS. Oh, hello, TS. Happy 2020. Yes, it is. 2020. Happy New Year to everyone. Wow, this is great, isn't it? I don't know what happened then. Twice we got cut off. So I'm back again, live on YouTube, I think. I'm not even sure anymore. Maybe I'm just standing here in my studio talking to myself. Oh, hello, Marizella. Hello, Marizella. Happy New Year, Mr. Duncan. It's my first time. Please say hello to me. Hello, Marizella. And welcome to the live chat. If it is your first time, well, can I say congratulations? I have absolutely no idea what is happening. YouTube is sabotaging your channel because you are always berating them, says Tomek. I don't think it works like that. I don't think YouTube would be so harsh with me. What do you think? So this year it's my 14th year on YouTube. So in October 2020 I will be celebrating my 14th year. I can't believe I've been doing this for so long. Lewis is here. Megar, hello. Did you find maybe one of your friends has hacked your YouTube channel? I'm not sure about that. I don't think I've been hacked, as far as I can tell. Zuzika is here. Hello to you as well. I don't know if this is one live stream or whether there will be lots of different live streams appearing. I have no idea, but it is a very strange event that is taking place right now. I have no idea what is actually happening. Happy New Year from Teresa. Hello, Teresa, watching in Japan. Nice to see you here as well. I really have no idea what was happening just now. I kept losing the connection. Augustina is here. Hello to you as well. Welcome to the live stream. I think it's a live stream. I'm not quite sure at the moment. Hello also, Corrie. Nice to see you here as well. Of course, when we think of 2020, I always feel as if we are living in the future. And as we all know, we are now surrounded by all types of technology. Some of it quite amazing, in fact. Here is an excerpt from one of my full English lessons where I talk all about technology. Here's a word that might be familiar to you. The word technology generally relates to any complicated tool that has been created to carry out a task of some sort. This task can be a simple one, such as adding up numbers, right up to the really complex and difficult ones, such as steering a jumbo jet or sending someone to the moon. There are some other words that relate to technology, such as device, which is something that uses technology to function, such as a smartphone or tablet. They are types of devices. The device forms the hardware of the technology, while the programs and applications running inside are the software. They are both forms of technology. It is hard to imagine what life was like before modern technology came along. Technology is used almost everywhere now. In factories and offices, in our leisure pursuits, in our cars and homes, and perhaps in the not too distant future as a part of the human body. It would be fair to say that virtually all of the great technological leaps forward have occurred during the past 100 years. Since the discovery of electricity, our world has been magically transformed into an amazing wonderland where our thirst for information can be easily quenched and the human imagination is encouraged to run free. Do you like technology? Would you miss it if it wasn't around? What piece of technology do you use the most? A computer game? A mobile device? A super-duper talking watch? Which piece of technology are you looking forward to using in the future? A flying bicycle? A driverless car? An artificial brain? A holographic TV perhaps? Will they ever be reality? Only time will tell. So there it was, an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. And of course, all of my lessons are available on my YouTube channel. Are we on? I don't know what happened there. Earlier on we had two, not one, but two disconnections on the first day of 2020. So I'm not sure if that is a taste of things to come. Maybe there will be more problems ahead on YouTube because there will be some big changes taking place right here on YouTube. So I will also be making some changes this year as I have a new website that I am slowly building and it will be launched during 2020. So I have 12 months to get it finished, basically. Hello to everyone. Do you like technology? Did you get some lovely technology for Christmas? Because I know a lot of people at this time of year, they like to get their new mobile phone, or maybe their new tablet device, or perhaps a new computer, some sort of technology for Christmas. So I suppose it would be fair to say that a lot of people will be getting gifts that are related to technology. So have you received something that is a piece of technology that you will be using forever and ever? Here he comes then, as promised. He is back with us after the Christmas live stream. He did cause quite a sensation, and he's back here again. You may notice one or two things different about this person. Here he comes. It's Mr. Steve.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
It's Mr. Steve.
Happy New Year. Must say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you very much.
I feel a bit short.
Well, I've noticed this. Now, earlier, when we were testing the camera earlier, I couldn't help noticing that Mr. Steve was very short. What's happened? Have you been shrinking?
Possibly. It's the effects of gravity, you see, over the years. As you get older, gravity gradually sort of compresses your bones and you get shorter. Of course, I am approaching middle age, as you well know.
Approaching middle age?
Well,
I think you've passed right through it.
Well, have you had a good live stream, your first live stream in 2020?
No. Today's live stream is going very badly because we've been disconnected.
Well, earlier on, I was trying to go on the internet and it was disconnecting me as well. It kept sort of freezing up. So that's not a good sign. So YouTube, your New Year's resolution should be... Or are we not blaming YouTube then? Are we blaming the internet?
Well, I'm blaming
BT.
I'm blaming everyone except for me.
It's British Telecom. That's who supplies us with our internet.
It's everyone's fault except me. But I have a feeling it's a local problem. So I think what's happening, lots of people are going onto the internet today with their new mobile devices and their new computers. Yes. And they're all watching films,
uploading all sorts of stuff from their phones onto their internet.
Whatever they happen to be watching, they are doing it right now. So whatever they are viewing, maybe it's a cartoon, or maybe they're watching the latest Star Wars film on torrent, or maybe
they've all got satellite television as presents.
Oh, I see.
And they're all connecting up their satellite TV to the internet. And thus it's sort of sucking all the internet away from Mr. Duncan's live stream.
How does satellite TV affect the internet?
Well, not satellite then. Maybe cable. Maybe they've got some new internet provider or something.
Okay.
Something that involves them having to connect. Don't you, even if you've got satellite, don't you have to connect your TV to the internet?
Well, no, that's an option.
But maybe they've taken up that option.
Yes, maybe. So I think a lot of people are using the internet today because they have nothing better to do, because it's a public holiday. It's the first day of January 2020. Happy New Year, everyone. I don't know what's happened to Steve. I'm sure you are shrinking.
I can't be shrinking, but it feels like, I can barely... You can't even see my collar.
Yes, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Of course, I am quite a magnificent specimen of a human being because I'm so tall. A lot of people say, Mr. Duncan, you are so tall in real life. Now, we were with your family last week.
We were.
And a lot of members of your family are quite short. Would that be fair to say?
Well, I don't want to be unkind.
Okay, well, I do. They're short, basically. They're not very tall.
Well, not my... well, it depends what you mean by family.
Well, family. Just a general family word. The family.
Well, my sister's quite tall for a woman. She's above average, I think, for a woman.
What's the average height of a woman?
I think in the UK the average height of a woman is 5'5", I think, around 5'5". I don't know what that is in centimetres. 5 feet 5 inches, I think, or between 5'5", 5'6".
5'5", 5'6".
And I think she's 5'6", and I'm 5'9.5", which is actually above average for a man in the UK. The average height of a man's about 5'8", 5'9", something like that.
I don't think you're 5'9.5".
I am.
I think Steve is shrinking.
I think he's got high heels on, you see. What you can't see is Mr. Duncan's wearing women's high heel shoes under the desk.
Okay.
I think it's the way you've got the camera at a weird angle to make me look shorter. I feel as though this doesn't look right, Mr. Duncan. You've got your viewers looking at me in a very bizarre aspect.
No, there's no bizarre aspect. It's just you're short. Now, let me just show you something. Now, a couple of days ago, we had your mother here.
We did.
And we had a lovely time, didn't we? We went to a local area called Iron Bridge. Iron Bridge is our favourite place. And there you can see the famous Iron Bridge built in, I want to say 1779, a very long time ago. And there it is. Let's have another view. Very old construction. And there is another view across the bridge. Isn't that lovely? Iron Bridge, not very far away from where we live, is it, Steve?
No, it's only about 4 miles away, something like that. Maybe not even that.
No, so it's quite close, very local. And we took Mr. Steve's mum there. In fact, there is Mr. Steve's mum. There she is. Oh, go on, give us a wave. Give us a wave. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I didn't know you were filming, Mr. Duncan. There's a surprise.
So, you're looking directly at me. How can you not know? I'm holding it.
Okay, so I didn't know that you were going to use it today.
Oh, yes, I was going to use it today.
Live stream.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Yes, that's my lovely mother.
I have a feeling I'm going to get into trouble now. That's it.
No, you won't.
No, I know.
No, you won't get into trouble, Mr. Duncan. No
That's
more
it.
than usual.
I know what's going to happen. I'm going to suffer the wrath. I'm going to suffer the wrath of your family.
I sort of knew that you may be using that today. It's fine. It's fine.
But your mum had a lovely time.
She had a lovely time, and we had a lovely time with her coming to stay as well.
So just in case you're watching today, hello to Mr. Steve's mum. We had a great time with you. A super duper time. And we look forward to welcoming you back here again. Maybe in the summer when the weather is nice.
Oh, I think there could be a visit before the summer, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, okay.
I think my sister's going to bring my mum over for a day out.
Oh, a day out to see us.
And we're going to go out, I think, and have a lovely meal at the Copper Kettle, all 4 of us. And sit at our favourite table and order some lovely food.
Yeah.
And although we won't be walking in.
No.
Because, my mother's of a certain age.
Yes.
She's fit and active, but she wouldn't want to go up some steep hills.
Having said that, sometimes Steve's mother has more energy than we do. Sometimes.
More than me, anyway.
Well, I think everyone has more energy than you. But so the big question is, why is Mr. Steve getting smaller?
I think it's the way you've got the camera's positioned, Mr. Duncan.
You're shrinking.
I can't possibly be shrinking. That is just not possible.
There is one thing we have to do. We have to get Mr. Steve to stand on something. We need a small box. Apparently, did you know that in some of Tom Cruise's films, in certain scenes, he actually stands on a box?
Well,
because Tom Cruise is very short. I think he's about the same height as you. So
he's
not.
No, he's only about 5'6".
Yes.
You see, I seem short on here, but in fact, I'm above average height for a man in the UK. I'm 5'9.5", which is actually above average. It just appears because the way you've got everything angled, you want to make me look short.
But that doesn't
Mr. Duncan.
I can't.
And you've got that big high hat on as well, of course. That's the trouble. You've got that big thing on the top of your hat.
What
so
about,
you've actually put the camera higher up.
What about my shoulders? How is the hat changing my shoulders?
I don't know, but it's the angle. It's all to do with the angle. I can't have shrunk in a week. What have you got here, Mr. Duncan? I thought it said New Year. It says New Year. I thought you'd misspelt it, Mr. Duncan.
Well, it doesn't say New Year. It says New Era.
Well, I know that.
A new era. So when the new year starts, Steve, we describe it as a new era, a new period of time.
New period of time.
Yes. So quite often we will make plans. We will look to make a fresh start. So when we make a fresh start, it means you begin something from the start, something new that you might want to try or do during the new year. Ooh.
It's quite a tradition in the West.
Start over is another one.
It's quite a tradition in the West that we see the new year as, well, they probably do all over the world, but certainly in the West it's seen as a place to make a fresh start, forget about all the things that went wrong in the previous year and start again and look forward to the future and I'm sure you're going to talk about making New Year resolutions.
Yes, we looked at a video earlier. I think people saw it. I'm not sure if you saw it out there because I was disconnected by the internet. The internet decided to go to sleep.
Damn that internet.
Damn internet. Damn you. You could also start over as well. What were you going to say?
No, fine. I was just going to talk about the fact that we here are celebrating our New Year in the West, don't we? Because we follow the sort of solar calendar.
Yes.
On the 1st of January, but of course, most of the other parts of the world in the East follow the lunar calendar, don't they, Mr. Duncan?
That's it. Yes. So because we follow the phases of the sun, that's how we divide our year. However, in some cultures, they have the lunar calendar, which relies on the phases of the moon,
which is slightly out of sync with what we do. But that's fine. And there are lots of traditions, aren't there, associated with the start of the new year, whether it's the Western or the Eastern New Year. And we typically, because I was reading about this, Mr. Duncan, because we don't really, in the West, we don't really celebrate New Year that much. It's sort of all over with at midnight, then we have a party the next day, and then we're all back to work tomorrow. So we don't have that many really celebrations. It's all at once. We all sort of amass together, lots of fireworks. We're all kissing each other and clapping at midnight as the new year rings in, singing songs.
That sounds horrible.
Getting drunk. And then we've got one day off, which is today, which we normally spend with families, going out for meals, going out for walks.
Okay.
And then on the 2nd, we're all back to work.
That's it.
Whereas in the East, of course, that it's a much longer tradition, isn't it?
Yes.
They have more time off.
Well, the Chinese New Year, and I suppose you could say the Lunar New Year, because many Eastern countries celebrate the Lunar New Year. So yes, it normally goes on for several days, and it's a big celebration. However, here it comes and then it goes very quickly. As I said earlier, before we were rudely cut off, I did mention the fact that last night, around here where we live, people didn't seem that interested, did they?
No. Last night, I would say the new year ringing in. We say ringing in the new year.
You ring in. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Forgot what I was going to say now, Mr. Duncan. You've distracted me. Yes, normally there's lots of fireworks everywhere, but there was nothing this year.
Nothing.
Not hardly a firework at all here. We can see in the distance a town called Shrewsbury, and we can normally see all the fireworks going off, but we couldn't this year. It was quite disappointing.
Yes.
We went for a walk. There was, I think, because we've had it's been a difficult year, hasn't it? Even worldwide, but certainly in the UK, we've had a very difficult, stressful year with all this Brexit nonsense.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to
mention everybody. Well, I'm only mentioning in passing, Mr. Duncan. I think everyone feels a bit stressed and they don't really want to celebrate.
That's it.
And I think that's part of it.
Yes.
But anyway, there we go. And of course, in Australia, They did have fireworks, but they nearly didn't because they're having all the bushfires. So everything feels a bit. Well, there doesn't feel like there's much to celebrate at the moment.
It's a bit like the world's largest New Year's celebration at the moment in Australia, isn't it? I mean, there are wildfires everywhere.
I know, and they've got their hottest months to come, apparently.
And then last night they decided to have fireworks going off as well. So as if there wasn't enough fire already, they were letting fireworks off at midnight. They were going to stop it, weren't they? But they went ahead because, well, to be honest with you, they'd put all the fireworks in place. They were there. So what were they going to do? Just leave the fireworks all undetonated? So they would have to detonate them, or else those poor people would have to go around and take all of the fireworks off.
No, I think they just wanted to celebrate. You know, I think you've got to. It's probably nice just to celebrate, have some fireworks. If they stopped that, it would have been. You know, what would there have been to celebrate? You've got to ring in the new year. You've always got to do that.
Yes. But I think it is, going back to what you just said, it has been a difficult year. 2019 here in the UK has been very strange. And don't forget, at the end of this month, we will be leaving the EU. So it's all happening. There is no going back. It's happening. We are going to sever all of our ties and relationships with the European Union. Oh dear.
Well, the legal ones anyway. Yes, somebody's mentioned about Mr. Bruno. Fireworks are cruel to animals. Well, it is. They do suffer when all the fireworks go off. On the 5th of November, when we celebrate Guy Fawkes night as well, everyone with dogs have to keep them indoors. Otherwise, they get very scared.
And of course, here in the countryside, we often launch our fireworks off the backs of cows.
Oh, thank you very much, Sadia. Says Mr. Steve looks so attractive, but he has no hair on his head.
This is
Otherwise,
true.
He'd be more handsome. Well, thank you very much.
Do you feel better now?
I feel so much better. What a wonderful start to the new year. I think you're joking.
Yes. I'm not sure if Steve is actually pleased or not.
I'm never coming on here again, Mr. Duncan. I've never been so insulted. Yes, we've got to get... That's right. Saturino says, tomorrow is a normal day, so we've got to get over yesterday night's hangover. And I've got... Well, Mr. Duncan, you don't know this. I've spoken to my sister today because it's her birthday today.
How strange is that?
I know. Her birthday is on the 1st of January.
Yes.
She's a New Year baby.
A New Year baby.
Well, she's not so new now, but... but yes, that's very... You know, if you've got a birthday on the 1st of January, that's quite something. And in the West anyway. And so it's my mother, you don't know this yet because she normally goes to bed very early. She doesn't celebrate New Year at all.
Let me guess, your mum got drunk last night.
She had 2 glasses of champagne, apparently.
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
Now, your mother doesn't really drink.
She doesn't drink at all.
I can't believe it.
And apparently she was persuaded, I think because her grandchildren were there, that she would partake in a beverage.
I am shocked.
An alcoholic beverage, and apparently she was very tipsy, wobbling all over the place, and they had to carry her back to the car.
Tipsy, I love that. So if a person is tipsy, it means they've had too much alcohol. So they have consumed too much alcohol. So Mr. Steve's mother last night was a little tipsy. She was slightly drunk, or we can say inebriated. Oh, I like that word.
Or pissed. That's that's the word that people tend to use here. That used to be very rude. If you said that 20, 30 years ago, that would have been a very rude word. But now it's just it's slightly rude, but not really.
I'm just imagining your mother drunk. I'm sort of, hello everybody, this is Mr. Steve's mum, and I'm completely pissed.
Greetings from see if I can pronounce this correctly, Tanguatinga in Brazil. Well, greetings to you as well. Marizella, greetings to you too. And Marizella is saying that they love our interactions. So thank you very much for that. Taguantinga. I wonder where that is. That sounds very exotic.
Brazil.
Is it near the coast? Are you near the sea?
Are you near the forests or the ocean?
Palmyra says that she's using her new Samsung tablet.
Ah, you see?
It's so awkward, I have to return to iPad.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Thought it might be the other way round.
Yes. A lot of people do prefer the Android devices. In fact, if you look at the figures for people who use the mobile devices, you will always find that there are many more people using Android devices than iOS, which is the Apple operating system.
I suppose if you're used to one, then you swap to another, it's going to be difficult. But Sadir says, just kidding. I know. We were going to wear wigs today, weren't we, Mr. Duncan, just to be different.
Yes, I thought we might have a new style for the new year because it's 2020. Can you see it's 2020 because I have it on my head? Now, I did print this out. It wasn't supposed to be this large, but unfortunately I printed it at the wrong size. So that's why it's so large. It was supposed to be small and nice and petite, but unfortunately it's too big.
Lots of people wishing us a Happy New Year. And Beatrice says, I've only just woken up.
Oh,
but I wonder what time it is there.
Yes.
Happy New Year from Bessant. Happy New Year from lots of people.
Hello, Bessant. Hello, Bessant.
Lovely messages we're getting from people today. There is a soft breeze, says Pedro. Interesting. A soft breeze.
There is a soft breeze in Brazil.
Sounds very nice to me. Sounds very relaxing.
I have a soft breeze.
Vitas says, happy birthday to Mr. Steve's sister. Yes, well, I won't be seeing her today because she lives quite a distance. But she'll be going out for a meal and no doubt to celebrate. She doesn't like to celebrate birthdays. When you get over a certain age, she's younger than me.
Okay.
But I'm nearly sort of years old. So when you start to a certain age, you probably don't want to celebrate very much. I think you go, when you're younger, you want to celebrate. And then in your middle years, you want to forget that you're getting older. But then when you start to get into your 70s and 80s, you want to celebrate again because it's actually an achievement to get to those ages.
I think so.
In fact, I heard, somebody told me the other day that they've got a relation and they know somebody who is 88.
Wow.
But they keep saying that they're 90 because they're actually adding years on to make it sound more impressive.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes. So when you're younger, you like to celebrate. In your middle years, you take years off. And then eventually you just give up and say, well, you want to boast that you've got to 90 or 100. So, Oh, I don't remember seeing you without your hat, Mr. Sukan.
I think that might be Mr. Duncan.
I know, I'm only joking. Soft breeze in my face.
Oh.
Where's that coming from, Pedro?
Yes. Maybe Pedro has a window open and there is a breeze coming into the house. Or maybe he has opened his back door and there is a gentle breeze blowing in.
Maybe somebody's blowing soft breezes in Pedro's face.
Ooh.
Yes. Like that.
It's a bit, unfortunately, that particular breeze is a bit stinky.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
You're welcome.
Oh.
So today we're talking about New Year's resolutions. Here's an interesting thing. So we have the top 5 New Year's resolutions. The top 5 New Year's resolutions. For those who didn't hear it the first time.
Pardon, Mr. Duncan, what did you say?
So here we have the top 5 New Year's resolutions.
Right.
And this piece of paper is so large, it covers both of us. So there are 2 good things about this.
Do you know where the origin of New Year's resolutions, Mr. Duncan?
No, I don't.
Well, I looked this up. Apparently, it's all sort of has religious connotations. It's people wanting to make resolutions or to promise things to their gods from years ago. So that's where it all comes from. But yes, carry on, Mr. Duncan. Just thought I'd insert that little piece of information.
Let us pray.
People used to sort of say to their gods, I promise I'll do this, I promise I'll do that, I'll be a better person, I'll plant more crops or something, hundreds of thousands of years ago.
That's a strange resolution.
And apparently in America, it didn't used to be, New Year resolutions only became a big thing after the Great Depression in the 1930s.
Yes.
And then it became a much bigger thing in people's lives.
Yes. Well, I think people become more desperate to make changes when things are bad, when circumstances do not go their way.
I think that's it, Mr. Duncan. I think that's exactly it.
Okay.
Carry on.
That's good. So we have the top five New Year's resolutions. Now, can I just point out that this is not an official list?
Can I stop you again, Mr. Duncan? Now, I get confused here. Should you say New Year resolutions or New Year's resolutions?
It depends if you are using it in the possessive form. So in this particular sense, it is used in the possessive. So it's the resolutions that belong to the new year. So it is New Year's resolutions because you are using it in the possessive sense. However, you can just use it as the general term, New Year celebrations. So the celebrations or the resolutions for the new year celebrations or the new year resolutions. However, in this sense, we are using it possessively. So because it belongs to the new year, you have the apostrophe. It's almost as if we are teaching English.
Well, Mr. Duncan, thank you for that, because I was thinking upstairs, sometimes I say New Year resolutions, sometimes I say New Year's resolutions, but I can see what you mean there.
Both are correct.
So the resolutions belong to the year, so it's possessive, so you put the apostrophe S.
That's it. So anything that's possessive always has an apostrophe.
So I've learnt something today, Mr. Duncan.
I don't know, the cat's food. So the cat's food will have the apostrophe because it's possessive. You are talking about something that belongs to the cat. So, once again, how many times am I going to say this? The top five New Year's resolutions, this is not an official list, this is my list. So this is Mr. Duncan's list. However, you are welcome to use it anywhere on the internet. Maybe you want to share it with your friends or run around to your neighbour's house and post it through their letterbox. You are more than welcome to do so. Top five New Year's resolutions. What do you think is at number 5?
Number five, I think it would be opening a new business.
Oh, yes, okay. Number 5. No.
This is your list, don't forget. This is your list.
This is my list, and you are welcome to use it. If you want to use this list, you can. You are more than welcome to use it. It's okay. You can take it. You can print it. You can make copies of it. You can maybe fly through the sky in a small airplane.
People are well ahead of us here, by the way.
And it's trailing through the sky, and it says top 5 resolutions.
According to Mr. Duncan.
According to Mr. Duncan.
Not an official list at all.
It's not official. Number 5, contact a person you have lost touch with.
Mr. Duncan, I've already done that this year.
Have you?
Yes. Well, I did it a couple of days ago.
Okay.
I've done that. So, Mr. Duncan.
I'm really excited.
Yes. So a friend that I send Christmas cards to every year. Every year we say we'll meet up. We haven't seen each other for 15 years. I actually saw them 2 days ago.
There you go.
Made the effort. So I've already started, Mr. Duncan. So, yeah, next one.
So number 5, contact a person you have lost touch with, maybe a friend that you've lost touch with. So to lose touch is to cease or stop contacting them. You have no contact. But perhaps maybe the new year arrives and you think, oh, I would like to get back in touch with that person. I would like to contact them again. So contact a person you have lost touch with.
Interesting, Mr. Duncan, as well. I'd like to comment here. There probably is a reason why you lost contact with that particular person, and you probably forgot the reason why. And then when you say, oh, I'm going to recontact this person again, and then you start talking to them, you sit there and you think, yes, oh yes, I remember why I stopped seeing you, and I now regret actually having made contact with you. Because time, of course, you forget. Time heals all wounds is a phrase we commonly say. And you forget all the bad things, tend to forget the bad things that happened or the arguments. And then you get back and see that person again. No, I'm not saying I regret contacting that person I saw the other day, but maybe, I'm beginning to think, oh yes, I remember now. You were a bit annoying, actually. Yes, I remember why I stopped seeing you now.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, family members.
Yes.
You've already been seeing your family members again, haven't you, Mr.
Yes.
Duncan? So you've already started as well.
That's it. Good. If you can
Number
just give a few more.
How long have we got?
Just give a few more of my private and personal things away.
Well,
So-
all your social life is conducted here.
Okay. Number 4. Travel to a place you have always wanted to visit.
Brazil.
Do you still want to go to Brazil, even though
yes.
even though it's now a right-wing country?
Yes, but the people are still the same.
But then,
aren't
having
they?
said that, we are living in a right-wing country here now.
Yes,
you
we
see,
are.
so we are also on the right.
Whatever government is in charge, the people stay basically the same. So even though there might be some lunatic in charge in a country somewhere,
Okay,
I'm not saying any particular country, Mr. Duncan, before you say that,
I didn't say
the
that.
people still stay the same. So the people that want to get into power, but everybody else stays the same. So
Okay.
it's the people that
Okay,
matter.
good. Happy New Year, everyone. Travel to a place you've always wanted to visit. I mentioned last night we were watching a TV show, and I've always wanted to go to Japan. So one place I would like to visit is Japan. Very fascinating place. I'm intrigued by Japan. A lot of mystery surrounding that country. The way society works is very different from here.
Belarusia says this is quite funny. Hello, Belarusia. This is very funny. She said someone said that her New Year resolution was to lose 2 kilos. The next year, the resolution was to lose 5 kilos. And the year after that, it was to be happy with her weight. So that person kept on putting on weight and then eventually gave up and said, that's funny, that is.
She decided to be happy with her weight.
Is that a true story, or did you say that as a sort of a humorous statement?
I think it's kind of a joke. That's what I
Yes.
think. By the way, Belarusia, I hope you are feeling good in the new year. I know you've had a pretty rough couple of weeks, but I hope you are feeling better. And you can join in, of course, with the live chat, where everything is always happy until Mr. Steve arrives.
Okay,
So-
number 3. Oh, number 4 then.
So, well, this is number 4. We're still talking about
Oh.
travel to a place you have always wanted to visit. I think Mr. Steve's resolution is to concentrate more on what is happening around him.
Pardon? What's happening now, Mr.
I wish I
Duncan?
was joking. That's actually a real one.
Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment.
Stay in the moment, Steve. Where are you now?
I'm in your studio, even though I'm shrinking,
Yeah.
and we're doing a live stream.
Whew.
Have I got that right?
Yeah, you're almost
Okay,
right.
good.
We were not live a few times today because we got cut off.
Number 3.
Number 3, you can read this one.
Learn a new skill or take up a new hobby.
Learn a new skill or take up a new hobby. Something that a lot of people would like to do in the new year. Take on a new challenge. So do something that is challenging. It will push your abilities to the limit and also beyond.
Well, interesting. I was watching something last night on the television, and they were interviewing various people, and they asked somebody, "What do you want to do this year?" And they said, "I want to face up to the things that frighten me, and do them." So I thought that was interesting. I mean, you could take this too far. I mean, I'm frightened. I would be frightened, for example, of bungee jumping, but that doesn't mean I want to go and do it. I don't think you should necessarily face all your fears, but some of the things which you think, oh, I don't want to do that. And somebody said, oh, I don't. Last year, I the first time I sung, I did some singing. So that scares a lot of people, singing, and it is a scary thing. So something like that, it's safe, but if you do it, it's challenging. But I don't think, doing dangerous things. I mean, I wouldn't want to do skydiving. I don't think you'd necessarily do all the things that scare you.
No.
Put your head in a lion's mouth.
Yes, or cutting off your right arm.
Yes.
See, that scares me, but I'm not going to try it this year.
Exactly. So, but some of the things that are safe, but that you feel as though you couldn't do it, or it scares you to do it.
Yes. Public performance.
Yes.
So standing up in front of people and performing maybe a song or a poem or a speech is not very easy to do. So maybe you will try to do that as a way of pushing your limits. So you might learn a new skill or take up a new hobby. Maybe you want to collect something unusual. Maybe you want to collect, I don't know, toenail clippings. So maybe you will go around to your friends and they are cutting their toenails, and you've decided that in 2020 you want to collect toenail clippings. So when people cut their toenails, you collect them and you put them in little picture frames on your wall. And underneath it says whose toenail it comes from and which toe it was. So for example, you might have a toenail framed and it says Julie, big toe, left foot. You see? So I think that's a pretty good hobby to get into during 2020.
Some people, I've heard of some people collecting bodily fluids and bits of their bodies, like hair. I know somebody actually who, when they have their hair cut, they collect it. They never throw it away. They've got it in bags.
Can I just say you have some weird friends?
I know. Well, this particular person is a little strange, but apparently they keep, whenever they've had their hair cut, they've kept it for years in bags. That's a bit odd. Theo says, Mr. Steve, I met somebody I'd lost contact with, and we discovered that we've got nothing in common.
Oh.
That, of course, is true, because if time passes and then you suddenly meet that person again, you're all doing different things, and suddenly you might have been friends or might have had a lot in common years ago, but now times have moved on and you've grown apart, and there's no real need or desire to really communicate.
That sounds like most marriages.
Time puts its own obstacles. Yes, so you've grown apart in time. Well, maybe you could rekindle some of the things that you had in common.
So we are looking at 5 common things that people do.
Bye, Pedro. Pedro's off. Never stays for long now. Have you noticed that?
Pedro has an appointment.
Such a busy life.
Yes. Number 2. I had a lovely number 2 this morning. I had a feeling, and I have a great feeling, in fact I had a great feeling earlier, that this year is going to be a good year for me, because I had a wonderful poop this morning. What a great way to start the new year, by having the best poop that you've had in a long time.
People don't want to know about your bodily functions, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, talking of horrible things.
Pedro's going, so I'll just say happy birthday, because Happy New Year, because he's going. Happy New Year, Pedro.
Well, and happy birthday. I'm sure at some point this year it will be Pedro's birthday.
Let me guess. No, it wasn't that.
At number 2, get rid of a bad habit, such as smoking or drinking, or both. A bad habit. So maybe something you do that you want to stop doing. So number 2, get rid of a bad habit. I think a lot of people do this. They say, I am going to stop my terrible habit of smoking and drinking completely in 2020.
All sorts of bad habits. Telling people about your poops, for example, is a bad habit. You do that a lot. But never mind.
That's a very useful thing to know.
Oh. The length shouldn't exceed more than 20 minutes so people take more interest. Okay, right.
The length of what?
I'm not sure. I didn't see the first
Do you
bit.
mean the length of the live stream?
No, I don't think it's that.
Oh.
Time about long videos. Oh, yeah. If you're making videos. Yes, I think so.
Well, I think actually you're referring to the live streams, but we always try to give good value. Now, a lot of people who post videos on YouTube are very lazy, so they might just make a 2-minute or 3-minute video, and that's it. Then they go off and have some fun. However, we don't have a chance. We never get the chance to have fun, do we? Because we're always here helping you. That's why we do it. We do it for you.
So Lilia Geordie says, you are welcome to visit Belo Horizonte in Brazil.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I do want to go to Brazil one day. I don't know why. No particular reason. I just do. All right. Backing off from things like skydiving is not fear of, but simple wisdom. Yes, exactly. So when you get these motivational speakers sometimes, and they say face your fears. But you don't have to face all your fears. And as I've said, what's the point of doing the ones that are dangerous?
That's it.
It is wisdom. Just because you think I'm frightened of bungee jumping or what other dangerous, like rock climbing would be another one. Yes,
walking along a railway track with headphones whilst blindfolded. See, that's a very dangerous thing to do. Don't.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. It's the new pastime for 2020. Apparently,
no, it's not,
there's lots of viral videos already of people wearing headphones, blindfolded, walking along railway tracks. Apparently, it's the new thing. It's called tracking. It's the new.
You've just made that up, Mr. Duncan.
It is. It's already happening. We're only in the new year for 15 hours, and already there is a new dangerous trend that people are doing.
Don't be silly. So yes, I mean, I would be frightened of doing rock climbing, but I'm not going to do it because if I'm frightened of, because I don't like going up ladders, so chances are I'd fall off. I'm not going to do things that could potentially harm me.
No, I never do anything that might leave me as a smear on the pavement or sidewalk. Yes. So maybe tightrope walking. You see, very high up, you are walking along a tightrope. So you are going along.
Yeah, but you see, that would be acceptable. That would be something that you could say is frightening to do. But if there was a big net and there was no chance of you dying if you fell off, then you could potentially. They've done this at work with us. We've been on motivational sales trips, and they've got everybody to climb up ladders and go into, like 100 foot up and swing on ropes and things like that. It's safe because there would be a net there, but they've got us to do that. But I think if you were to just say, I want to go rock climbing or I wouldn't do a bungee jump. I know it's safe, but I wouldn't want to do it. Anyway,
Julie G has said, I saw a kingfisher yesterday for the first time. That's why I think this year will be a good one. So for Julie, it's a good sign. So today I had a lovely poop. That's my good sign. It feels as if everything is going to move smoothly.
Perhaps the kingfisher saw you, Julie, and thought it's also going to be a good year for me as well because the kingfisher saw you. Could be the other way around,
Yes, I like that. I like your style, Steve.
Always positive. That's me. That is sheer madness, says Tetra or Tentra. Lovely. Yeah. Do you know, Miss? What have you got to? Are we on number 2 now? Well,
I'm still on my number 2.
You were on number 2 earlier.
I was. Number 2, get rid of a bad habit.
So, have you got a bad habit you want to get rid of, Mr. Duncan?
I've got quite a few bad habits.
Anyone in particular you want to share with your viewers?
I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe I don't change my socks as often as I should.
I think you need to wash your slippers as well.
That's it. Sometimes, maybe I don't concentrate on things. Sometimes I lose concentration. Maybe my attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So perhaps I should improve that. And I know someone else who should improve that as well. I wonder if you can guess who it is.
Moving on, Mr. Duncan, moving on. Shashra says, you've been invited to a lunch or a dinner. Whereabouts are you? And I hope I'm invited as well, because Mr. Duncan can't drive, so I'll have to drive him there. So that's 2 lunches. Thank you very much, Sharaya. And Jamila says that you've made an interesting point there. Meeting people you haven't seen for a long time can be awkward. It can be because you start to ask questions like, oh, what job are you doing now? Or where are you living? And then suddenly they might have a better job than you, and you feel like you've been left behind, or they could be having this wonderful life, or you might be having a wonderful life and you'll make them feel bad. So it can be awkward. Yes, I know what you mean by that.
I think that is a big challenge as you get older, when you lose contact with people you went to school with. And then maybe they decide that they want to have a reunion. But your biggest fear will be, will they see me as a failure? Or maybe they have better jobs, or maybe they've had more success in their lives. So yes, that can be a big thing to face.
Hello, Sukat. I haven't seen Sukat for a long time.
Sukat!
Hello.
How is your garden?
Mr. Duncan bought me a calendar with lots of vintage cars on it. So a different car for every month of the year. So thank you very much for that. Well, are we up to number 1?
We are about to do number 1.
Again, let's remind everybody this is your unofficial personal list.
That's it.
Of top 5 resolutions.
Yes. Shall we go down a list? So number 5. Contact a person you have lost touch with.
Maybe not, though. Maybe not.
Number 4, travel to a place you have always wanted to visit.
Yes, like that one.
Number 3, learn a new skill or take up a new hobby. Number 2, get rid of a bad habit, such as smoking or drinking.
Let me guess what Mr. Duncan's number 1 resolution will be. I bet it's something to do with wanting lots of people to watch him on his live stream. I bet it's something to do with that.
Well, I can't make people watch me. How do you do that?
I don't know, but I bet it's something like that. Let me think. I bet it's losing weight.
You'd better watch.
Or getting fitter.
You'd better watch my live streams in 2020. You had better watch them, or else I'll come round. Okay. That sort of thing.
I bet it's something to do with exercise, losing weight, something like that. Yes, I'm absolutely certain that's what it is.
You are so annoying sometimes. Number 1, in my opinion, for what that counts for, I have no idea. Number 1 is lose weight and become fitter and more healthy. I think that is a common one.
It is. Not that I have to do that, but
no.
Certain.
Well, maybe not in your body anyway.
Well, people were commenting, weren't they, when we did the live stream on Boxing Day?
Yeah.
People were commenting about the rolls of let's say, fat around your middle regions.
It wasn't fat. I was wearing a lot of clothing that day because it was cold. It was the clothing. I was wearing a lot of layers, and also I had a very thick jumper as well. So that just made me look a little bit more chunky.
Well, isn't fat insulating? You didn't really need that jumper on at all, did you, Mr. Duncan?
But
I'm being a bit cruel. But
there isn't any fat. Al Peren says, "Hello guys. What are ya up to? What are ya up to? What we are up to today is doing a live stream. If you want to get in touch, you can. Also, don't forget, please, however desperate it sounds, I know it sounds very desperate and pathetic, but please like us. Can you please like us? I would be very grateful if you would like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Yes, if you're watching for the first time, subscribe, and then you'll be regularly updated when Mr. Duncan does a live stream. Mr. Duncan, I was reading about resolutions. Apparently, this is something that a lot of people are thinking about doing as a New Year resolution, is spend less time on their phone, on their mobile devices, and social media and all that sort of thing, because people are spending a lot of time in the phone and it's becoming a bit of a concern. So I think a lot of people will put that on their top list of things to do or not to do in 2020. So spend less time on the phone, but more time on the internet watching Mr. Duncan's live stream.
Yes. So don't talk to people on your telephone. You don't need to telephone anyone. You can always send them an email, and whilst you are typing your email, you can also watch my live streams. By the way, you can catch me on YouTube on Sunday, Wednesday and Friday, so I will actually be back with you on Friday.
Do you know what the success rate is, Mr. Duncan, of New Year's resolutions?
I would guess failure. If I was looking at the failure of people sticking or keeping their New Year's resolutions, yes, I would say probably...
Because it's very common, isn't it?
I would say 8%.
It's easy to... And with all good intentions. So you sit there, we're saying this today, we've got all good intentions. This is what we really want to do. We want to lose weight. We want to take up a new hobby, see somebody we haven't seen for years, whatever. Start a new business. But what happens is that you go back to work, and then all that time spent at work, all the everyday chores and work, all takes up all your time, and you gradually forget about these resolutions. The success rate, unfortunately, is very low. It's only about 5%.
Oh, I wasn't far off. I said 8%. I said 8%.
Yes. And the main reason is because people apparently they set unrealistic goals. Unrealistic resolutions. So they say something like, I'm going to lose 2 stone in a month or something like that. Or they say, I'm going to change my job and start a whole new career. And that's a bit vague. So apparently the people that have most success with New Year's resolutions, the goals are realistic, and then they break them down into smaller little chunks or smaller little goals, and then they work up to those, and they spend a little bit of time on it every day. So if you've got a big resolution or something that you think might be difficult to achieve, then apparently you will have the most success if you break it down into little chunks and then into little goals, and you just work towards them in that way.
So you carry out your big goal in small steps,
small little chunks, and that's what they advise you to do. Because I'm in sales, we get this sort of thing all the time. Is that if you've got a goal, it's got to be very specific. You've got to be able to measure it. You've got to have a time period that you want to do it in, things like that. So that you will. If you just set it, if it's too vague, you'll never do it. Your mind doesn't lock onto it. So you've got to have something very specific and then work towards it in little chunks. Would be my advice for 2020.
Do you want to see what Mr. Steve got me for Christmas? Mr. Steve got me something ever so nice for Christmas, but the only problem is I have to take them off because I'm wearing them now. But would you like to have a look? Shall I take them off?
This was one of the things I got you for Christmas. Just one, like a stocking filler, a small present. A stocking filler is like a small present that is just you want to get several. You've got one big present, then you get 2 or 3 smaller ones just to fill that stocking up. But it's probably of low value.
Oh, it's definitely of low value.
Oh, I thought you were going to. I got Mr. Duncan some socks, but he's going to show something else.
These are my pajama trousers.
Have you just taken them off, Mr. Duncan?
I now have no trousers on. Is that okay? You can't see anything.
Let's hope that camera doesn't drop, Mr. Duncan, because you will.
It's not the only thing that might drop.
Our viewership could tumble, or it might actually go through the roof.
No, I think a naked teacher would be brilliant. I think more people would watch. Imagine that if I'm in my next live stream, I was completely naked. Imagine all the viewers.
Mr. Duncan likes to slob around the house. Because, of course, the camera is only showing us from the waist upwards.
I think
so we could be wearing anything underneath.
Yes,
shirt.
Mr. Steve might be wearing fishnet tights and suspender belt.
I am. That is exactly what I'm wearing. In fact, I've just got a pair of jogging bottoms on, so I've got this smart shirt. Not that you can see it, because the camera's positioned so that nobody can see me, Mr. Duncan.
You're just small, that's why.
I know, I'm going to Look, Mr. Duncan, here we go.
No, don't. Whatever you are planning to do, don't do it.
Oh, I was going to do it carefully, Mr. Duncan. Mr. Duncan has some very big Oxford English dictionaries here, and I was going to put one on the floor and stand on it.
Yeah, that's not going to work. You might destroy my lovely, expensive dictionary.
I've never seen you use them, Mr. Duncan.
Well, what do you mean you've never seen me use? Well, I don't carry it around with me all the time.
They're just like blocks of wood, Mr. Duncan. That's all they are. They're very thick, heavy.
No, you can damage a book by standing on it. Did you know that? So there we go.
I'm only light. I'm just a lightweight. I'm the same weight I was when I was 18.
All right, I'm trying to show these. So these are my lovely pyjama bottoms that Steve gave me.
Yes.
Aren't they lovely?
They're very warm. They're the finish on those. They're made of cotton, but they're brushed cotton, flat flannelette is what you call it.
They feel fleecy.
Flannelette. It's sort of brushed cotton that makes them very warm.
They're a bit stinky now.
I used to have when I grew up in the 70s, and houses were cold then. Well, ours was, and we used to have flannelette sheets on the bed. They were, as I say, it's like cotton, but it's sort of brushed and quite thick, so it used to keep you very warm.
I'm just putting my trousers.
Please do.
I'm putting my trousers back on.
Mind you, it's nothing I haven't seen before. Oh, Mr. Duncan, we're having a laugh here. Let's see what the comments are saying. Thank you for that, Mr. Steve. I'm not quite sure what that was, but thank you for thanking me. How can I improve listening score in International Exam of English? Well, I would say just keep listening to us.
Yes, this is the best place to improve your listening skills. Don't forget, make English part of your life. Do it every day. If you are having an exam, you should already know what the exam will be testing you on. So you never go into an exam without knowing what it is you will be tested on. So that's my biggest piece of advice. So find out what it is you will be tested on, or the types of test that you will be given. But normally they will test your reading ability, your general speaking, and your understanding of the English language.
Oscar is from Argentina. Hello, Oscar. Is going to learn to play the electric guitar with their 14-year-old daughter. Well, there's a good thing to do.
That's good.
That's a very, gets your brain going. And music is an excellent way of staying young as you get older. It's a very good stimulant for the brain, like learning a language.
Ooh.
Learning a language, playing an instrument, anything like that is very good for your brain, stopping you going senile as you get older. Well, there we go. Ooh, lots of comments coming up, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
So we're not going to share our particular... Well, I could share one of mine.
Okay.
Maybe I could share one of my New Year's resolutions, Mr. Duncan.
We are talking about New Year's resolutions because it's the first day of 2020. How do you say 2020? There are many ways of saying it.
And really, it's all about New Year resolutions are all about self-improvement, aren't they? Because that's what you want to do. You want to start the year and think, how can I improve myself? Because most of us want to be the best that we can be. We've all got different talents and abilities, and it's making the most of what we've got that's important. And if we don't do it, we tend to feel a bit guilty, or we feel ashamed that we're not making the best of ourselves. And that's always a very worthwhile goal, isn't it? To make the best of yourself, to be the best that you can as a human being. Lovely.
Okay, that's very good, Mr. Steve. Fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream.
Love the live chat, Eric. I love it.
Yes, I love the live stream as well, and the live chat. The live chat is my main reason for being here, because without you, I would have no one to speak to.
Can you explain the difference? Let's get some English in. Do you know we haven't got... You know what we haven't got today after the live stream? What haven't we got?
Well, I guess we've got no tea cakes.
Exactly.
So you have no tea cakes for me. You will not be giving a tea cake to me. So you have something for a person. It means you are going to give it to them. You are going to present it to them. You have it for them. But to someone, if you give it to them, it means you are giving it directly to them. You give it to them. You go to them. You are there for them. So if you are there for a person, it means you are there if they need you. If you go to another person, then it means you go towards them, or
Physically.
you go to where they are.
I've got something for you, Mr. Duncan.
What's that?
I've got something for you, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, I think you just said that.
It's a cheese grater.
Yes, I know. This
There we go.
is my star of the show at the start of my first attempt at doing a live stream today. My lovely cheese grater. This is a well-known English musical instrument, and in many parts of the country you will see people sitting on street corners, and they are often... It's a new year today. How do you feel today? Are you feeling happy? I hope so.
Oh, is that it? Right. Well done, Mr. Duncan.
Cheese grater.
Right. What did I get for Christmas, says Julie G. Well, Mr. Duncan. Shall I say what Mr. Duncan bought me for Christmas?
Well, I think we'll keep those things private if you don't mind.
Ooh. Well, I can think no. All right, then. I got some lovely gifts. My mother gave me some money, which was very nice, and I bought a new pair of shoes with that. And Mr. Duncan bought me a nice calendar, I can say. Bought me a nice calendar to put on the wall, and for some strange reason, some bed sheets.
Yes. Well, you do often soil the bed sheets.
That's true. That is true.
But it's his age.
That is true. Yes, I've got to wear a nappy, I think.
He's at the age now where little leaks appear from various orifices.
Out with the old, in with the new. Yes, that's what we tend to say.
Yes.
Out with the old and in with a new person. I think... Well, anyway, I don't want to upset Mr. Duncan.
Trust me, I'm not upset by that.
Is you've been praying for it about...
I think my New Year's wish will come true.
I was hoping, of course, for a Ford Mustang for Christmas, but that has yet to materialise.
Yes. Well, that's a conversation killer.
Are we going, Mr. Duncan? Because it's getting dark, and we've got to keep up the tradition in the UK of going for a New Year walk, walk on New Year's Day.
Yes.
Because if it gets dark, it's going to be, well, not really worth it.
No. Well, you can still walk. I don't think darkness prevents you from walking.
No, but you want to go in the light.
I don't think my legs are solar powered.
You know what we missed today?
Missed today?
We missed something this morning.
Yes, I know.
Because we were up late.
We missed the concert from Vienna.
We did.
However, it is available again on BBC iPlayer, so we can watch it later.
We will watch it later. But it's not the same if you don't watch it when it's live. I mean, it's not live, but I like to watch it in the morning, and we forgot all about it. Can I say 4 is benefit or target, and 2 is direction? 4 is benefit or target.
Well, 4 is something that is available. So if something is 4, it is available, or it might be something that could be available if it is needed. So I am there. I am there for you. If I'm there for you, it means I'm always ready to help you. I am there for you. And if you need me, I will come to you, which means I will go to where you are.
Rosa says, everything can be an instrument as long as air exists. Yes, that's true. Actually, the only reason I picked that statement out is because I read something on the internet about, which is one of those sort of questions that people sometimes ask. If you play a musical instrument in space, could you hear it? The answer, of course, is no, because there aren't any air molecules. You need molecules to transmit the frequency. So no. So yes, exactly. So as long as there's air to vibrate a string or a reed or something like that, then you will get sound.
Of course, you can bang something as well if you want.
That's it. You might get a scream though from that. Oh, I'm being a bit risque there, Mr. Duncan.
I have no idea what you mean.
Yes, and Anna said she missed the concert as well. So we can, hopefully you've got sort of a play again facility on your TV, or it'll be on the internet somewhere. And we're going to watch that later.
Okay.
Hopefully there'll be some ballet dancers as well.
Some belly dancers?
Ballet.
Oh.
Ballet.
I thought you said belly dancers.
They normally have a section where the ballet dancers prance around, and it's all very highfalutin and all very, very cultural. High culture is what it is.
It's the only bit of culture we ever get, to be honest.
Right, are we going?
Yes, you keep saying that,
Holding
but then
me up.
You keep saying that, but then you start talking about something else and then rambling on.
I could be on here for hours, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, I think we have. So thanks for watching us today. We did have some problems, technical problems. I don't know why the internet kept cutting off, and we were both severed from the internet, unfortunately. Well, I was anyway. Steve wasn't here. So thanks, Steve, for joining us today.
Thank you, and I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody that watches Mr. Duncan, and obviously sometimes myself. I wish you all a wonderful New Year, and see you all soon, and hope that your resolutions actually come to fruition.
Which is a word I used at the very start of my first attempt to live stream today.
Come to fruition. Is that the phrase you use?
That's it. Something comes to fruition. It means it occurs, or it's completed or realised.
So what do you want me to do? Stay here or sort of slink off?
If you slink away and
slowly slink away.
And then we will get ready for the walk, because we're going for a walk. In fact, I can let you in on one of my New Year's resolutions right now, which is to exercise every day. I'm going to have a walk every day.
Right, now, you've heard that Mr. Duncan say that. You have to hold him to this, which means that you have to keep reminding him to take exercise every day and to get a bit fitter and healthier, because our food bills are going skyrocketing.
Okay.
Anyway.
What? What does eating food have to do with walking?
Well, I thought you were doing it for weight loss.
Well, I'm doing it just generally to keep the heart healthy, to keep my lungs supple, and to keep my joints loose.
You can join me on one of my runs. I go running through the hills.
Can I just start, first of all? Can I start with walking before I start running?
Anyway, I like going on my runs on my own.
Okay, Steve.
Okay, Mr. Duncan.
See you later.
Ta-ta, and see you all soon.
He's gone. Mr. Steve has left the studio, and I'm about to leave as well. Thank you very much for sticking with me, because we had some problems today, unfortunately, with the live stream. The internet connection kept disappearing, and because of that, so did I. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you very much for your lovely company on this first day of 2020. I hope you've had a good time. I will be back on Friday, so you can catch me on Friday. This Friday, it will be just a normal lesson. Nothing special, just me, I'm afraid. 2 p.m. UK time, I will be back with you. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Beji. Thank you also, Mahmout, watching in Turkey. Thank you, Sasi. Thank you, Palmyra. And also Belarusia, Anna, Saturino, Anderson. Thank you very much for following me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream from England. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English, saying thank you very much for watching me. See you on Friday, 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, until the next time we meet right here on YouTube, Happy New Year and ta-ta for now.